Dear students, how are you? I think you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also fine. This is a matter of great sorrow that we are having a critical time because of COVID 19. So stay home, stay safe, and be connected with us. Dear learners, welcome to online class. This is Himangshu Saha, Assistant Teacher of English, Port Secondary School, Khalispur, Khulna. Today, I will teach you how we can change affirmative sentences to negative one. So, dear learners, open your notebook, take your pen, and follow me carefully. Before starting my class, I have a question for you, and the question is: do you know what is transformation of sentence? I know you know it well, but for your better understanding, I will repeat it once again before you. Transformation of sentences means a change of sentence from one form to another without changing of meaning. So our today's topic is transformation of sentence, and that from affirmative to negative. Do you know what is affirmative sentence? I know you know it well, but for your better understanding, I will repeat it once again. Affirmative sentence expresses general truth, and the truth which expresses basic assertion. On the other hand, negative sentence expresses the thing which is not true. So come back to our today's lesson. Now enjoy the class. Do you know why transformation of sentence is needed? Yet I will repeat it once again. Transformation of sentence is an excellent exercise. It teaches variety of expression in English writing. So look at the board. Rules at a glance. Affirmative to negative. Affirmative, only for person you have to use while transforming it into negative one. You have to use non but from the very beginning of the sentence. For example, only he can do the work, and the answer will be none but he can do the work. Here you can find that we have to omit only and we have to use none but for only. Here only represents person. Then only for the thing we have to use nothing but. For example, she likes only sweet. Here only represents thing, so you have to omit only and you have to use nothing but for only. So the answer will be she likes nothing but sweet. Only for age or number you have to use not more than or not less than in negative sentence. For example, she is only 18. Here only represents age. So you have to omit only and you have to use not more than, such as, and the answer will be she is not more than 18. You can use not less than instead of not more than. Next, as soon as, and you have to use in negative sentence no sooner had dot dot than. For example, as soon as the thief saw the police, comma, he ran away. And the negative one will be no sooner had. You have to use at first no sooner had instead of as soon as. No sooner had the thief, you have to use seen instead of saw, because this sentence represents past perfect tense. Seen the police, you have to omit comma and then you have to use them. Then you have to use next part of the sentence and the answer will be no sooner had the thief seen the police than he ran away. If you find always in affirmative sentence, then you have to use never in negative sentence. For example, I always agreed with him. For your kind information, I will add one thing, and that is you have to use opposite word here. So the answer will be I never. Here I have used never instead of always. I never. Opposite word of agreed is disagreed. With him. Next rule. If you find sometimes in affirmative sentence, then you have to use not always in negative sentence. For example, my friend sometimes visit me, and then the answer will be my friend does not always visit me. Next rule, 2 If you find 2 in affirmative sentence, you have to use so that plus cannot or could not plus . For example, he is too weak to walk, and then the answer will be, and this sentence will turn into negative one in this process, in this way. Look at the example. At first you have to use subject. Here subject is he, then verb is, you have to use so instead of to, then you have to use adjective, then you have to use that. Again you have to use first subject, then you have to use cannot or could not. Here this sentence represents present indefinite tense, so you have to use cannot. Then you have to use the word next to and you have to use only verb here V1, and that is walk. I will move to another rule, and that is If you find must or have to or has to in affirmative sentence, then you have to put cannot but dot dot v1 or cannot help dot dot v1 plus ing. For example, you must do the work. Here you find a word and that is must. You have to use cannot but or cannot help. If you use cannot help, then you have to use v1 plus ing. I only use here cannot but instead of must. You cannot but next part of the sentence, do the work. Then I will move to another rule. If you find both dot dot and in affirmative sentence, then you have to use not only dot dot but also in negative sentence. For example, both Iva and Nisha are going to school. Here you have to omit both and you have to use not only Eva. Then you have to omit and you have to put but also. Then you have to use next part of this sentence, also are going to school. Are going to school. Then I will move to another rule, that is if you find in affirmative sentence many, then you have to use not a few in negative sentence. For example, there are many students in the class. So you have to use not a few instead of many in negative one or negative sentence. So the answer will be there are not a few students in the class. Students in the class. Next rule, if you find a few in affirmative sentence, then you have to put not many in negative sentence if you want to change it into negative one. For example, I have a few friends. A few will be turned into not many. So look at the example. I have not many friends. Many friends. Next rule, a little will be turned into not much in negative sentence. Now look at the example. I have a little rice. And then the answer will be I have not much rice. Much rice. If you find mass in affirmative sentence, then you have to use not a little in negative sentence. And look at the example. She has much money. Here you find a word and that is mass. So you have to use not a little instead of mass if you want to turn it into negative one. she has not a little money. Not a little money. Next, if you find had to in affirmative sentence, then you have to use could not but dot v1 in negative one or negative sentence. Now look at the example. I had to go there. Here you find a word that is had to, and you have to use could not but instead of had to if you want to turn it into negative one. So the answer will be I could not but go there. Next rule, everyone, all plus main verb. Then you have to use there is no plus the word next to every plus but plus next part of the sentence. Now look at the example. Every mother loves her child. Here every mother loves her child. Here you find a verb which is the main verb. So you have to use this structure if you want to turn it into negative one. And then the answer will be there is no there is no, then the word next to every, that is mother, then but next part of the sentence, and that is loves her child. I will move to another rule, and that is if you find every or all plus to be verb in affirmative sentence, then you have to use no plus singular noun plus opposite adjective in negative sentence, such as, or for example, all men are mortal. Then the answer will be no men will turn into man, and this word is singular noun, and you have to use is instead of are. No man is, then opposite adjective or opposite word, mortal, immortal. Next part, if you find superlative degree, if only the is added, so you have to use no other plus next portion of superlative degree plus verb plus so plus positive form of the adjective plus as plus first subject. Now look at the example. He is the best boy in the class, and then the answer will be no other next portion of superlative. Next portion of superlative is boy in the class. Boy in the class. Then verb is here is. Then you have to use so. Positive form of adjective is good instead of best. Next you have to use as, then first subject, he. No other boy in the class is so good as he. If you find as plus adjective plus as or as dotted as, then you have to use not less plus adjective plus than, or not less dotted than. For example, Ripon was as wise as Rana. At first you have to use subject. Subject and verb will be unchanged here. Will be remained unchanged here. And then you have to use at first subject, ripon, verb was. Instead of as you have to use not less for first as, not less. Then adjective, here adjective is wise, here adjective is wise. Then you have to use then instead of next as, then next portion of this sentence, and that is Rana. Ripon was not less wise than Rana. Next rule, if you find very much in affirmative sentence, and then you have to use at all in negative sentence, such as he likes me very much. Here very much is used here, and then you have to use at all. So the answer will be he does not dislike. Opposite word of like is dislike. Me at all. At all. Next rule, if the sentence expresses universal truth or habitual fact or historical event, then you have to use in negative sentence not or no plus opposite word. For example, man is mortal. Here this sentence expresses universal truth. So the answer will be, at first you have to use subject, man, then verb is not, opposite word of mortal is immortal. Now I have already written some opposite words for your better understanding, and then follow me carefully. Look at the board. Able, opposite word unable, arrive, depart, bright, dark, rise, fall, sorrow, joy, young, old, fact, fiction, equal, unequal, correct, incorrect, fat, thin, kind, unkind, top, bottom, ordinary, extraordinary, strong, weak, good, opposite word bad, friend, foe, moral, immoral, mortal, immortal, regular, irregular, active, inactive, wise, unwise, solvent, insolvent, pleasant, unpleasant, honest, dishonest, always, never, present, absent, healthy, unhealthy, rich, opposite word poor, love, hate, remember, forget, enemy, friend, agreed, opposite word disagreed, sincere, insincere, punctual, late, happy, unhappy, possible, impossible, literate, illiterate, hard, easy, real, unreal, obey, disobey, right, wrong. I have already taken a lot of time. Thank you very much for watching this video. Stay safe, stay home, and you have to follow the common rules of health. Goodbye, take care, have a nice day.